What's up, viewers, subscribers, and agents alike? It's your boy, Luciferian Prince, coming at y'all once again. Welcome to all my subscribers, everybody who's been viewing my channel, viewing my content. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. And solely for the information for the general purposes of my channel, I try to make my information on my channel very concise and try to be very transparent about a lot of stuff that I talk about. But this topic today is going to be very simple, and it's going to be something that's going to help a lot of people along the way if they want to actually gain a bit more of an advantage in regards to their redemption. However, if you're watching this video around children, please remove them from your immediate vicinity, as my videos are not for children, as is stated in my guideline purposes. These videos does not contain legal advice. They are solely for informational and educational purposes only, as all my videos are. They are not anything anti-government. They don't constitute legal advice. They are solely protected by the First Amendment provision of freedom of speech. Simple as that. Irrespective of freedom of speech, creator given right, I can say what I want. So, with that being said, topic of this video is called prioritizing your redemption. Now, I know a lot of people over the past few years have asked me time and time again. They've asked me about how long does it take? How long does the process take within regards to redemption? How long does filing take, and so forth? Let me tell you something. With all these questions that you may be asking, I'm going to say this in the most honest sense that I can say it. Your redemption is based upon you prioritizing your redemption over the social constructs that have already been placed out in society. Don't get me wrong. Yes, people have to go to work. Yes, people have to, make priority for their family life or their personal life or whatever the case may be. Yes, these are all concessions that you have to deal with in your personal life. We get that. But there's a method to the madness whenever you want to manage your redemption factor as opposed to a social factor that's going to keep you stagnated, and it's going to keep you in a figurative sense in a categorization of you feeling like you're not getting ahead. Now, mind you, I'm not knocking anyone that works in the blue collar sector. When I first started my channel, yes, indeed, I started that way. But I also realized that there were certain key elements that I had to remove from my life in order for me to excel. Now, this is just my personal experience. This is not for everybody. This is just what happened with me. When I first started my journey into excelling, I really had to knuckle down and be like, well, what is the most vitally important outcome that would be necessary in order for me to, manifest the benefits of even learning this process? Because to be honest with you, and I'm going to get there later on in the conversation, which I'm addressing in this video, it's a lot of study. Okay? It is a lot of study. It's a lot of study. And I will tell you that one of the most confusing parts about the redemption process is that there's no set course, because this is something that is not based upon a thesis that has been introduced into society that they're going to basically say, well, okay, well, here's the ABC 1, 2, 3 step kind of thing. It's not like that. But this is the reason why I started my channel, in order for people to understand that it's simplistic if you just, apply the law in the context of the law and not what we go by off of hapstance or something that we go off of hearsay, because hearsay does not work in the realm of redemption. I am so sorry for people to not understand this, but I'm just letting you know the very significant truth. Hearsay does not fly in the realm of redemption. It does not. You have to study to show thyself approved. And when you do this, what you're doing is you're now internalizing these very significant truths that society or other educational constructs or other hindrances in society, obstacles, I should say, or agents alike, who basically don't want you to come to the knowledge of the truth of what the application of law is in order for you to come out on the beneficiary side as opposed to coming off on the debtor side of things. See, the way commerce is set up in this social structure is set up and designed for you to always be in a debtorship capacity. Never enough for you to actually excel, to actually get to the point of sovereignty, which is superiority over codes, rules, regulations, policies, and procedures and statutes, but to always make you operate in a capacity in debtorship, as if you always are in the capacity to owe somebody, even if it's down to the point where somebody's saying you owe something, as far as a statement comes to your house and they're saying you owe such and such. Now you owe somebody an explanation. But the redemption process teaches you how to reverse that curse and lets you know that, first off, because you say I owe something doesn't mean I don't have the right to inquire about what I owe. Because anything in regards to commerce, whether it's a claim or a dispute or a notice or declaration, can be disputed, irrespective of what is said in the statement. This is what they don't want you to learn. They want you to learn what you've always been indoctrinated with, was the concept to deal with what is called automation. They don't want you to think for yourself. See, this is why prioritizing your redemption is very important. Because if you don't prioritize your redemption, trust me, the system will never prioritize your redemption over what is factor proof for you to excel to get to that level of sovereignty. Now, I know that it's been a touchy subject over the years, and many people have always come out with this whole sovereign citizen ideology. That is nothing more. That's nothing more than a ploy that agents use to try to dissuade the mindless masses to never think for themselves. They always go by, most people go by what media says. And what is the most controlled form of media? Central media. So if they put it on the news and it's on the news, 85% of the majority of the population are going to say that it's correct. No fact check, no homework, no dutiful, essence within their own consciousness to say, let me go see if this is correct. No, 85% of the population are brainwashed and controlled simply by mainstream media. Now you have the other sector of media, which is basically social. So social media is like, okay, we can exchange ideas, we can exchange things in real time, irrespective of direct control. Now, there's indirect control because you have a lot of people who basically will put out false pages, who operate under bot accounts, who come out here and spread disinformation. Yes, I've dealt with them over the years. You know what I'm saying? They spread misinformation, disinformation. And it's very sad because why is it so imperative that you want to dissuade people from the truth? This is the question you need to start asking yourself before you embark upon this journey. Because when you embark upon this journey, you're doing it for the benefit of you. And if you have a family, you're doing it for the benefit of the family who will listen to you in regards to you applying this stuff and actually putting it forward. So the first step into understanding the path of redemption is prioritizing your time. Okay? We can spend so many hours on the video game. We can spend so many hours on social media. We can spend so many hours twiddling our thumbs. But when do we actually start to internalize this information and develop a sense of discipline and study? Again, when I first started this journey for myself, and I'm speaking on my own behalf, I literally went 5 years, 5 whole years without a cell phone. 5 whole years without a cell phone. 5 years strong without a cell phone. And the only time I did use it was when I was actually posting videos. I didn't have social media. I've been stopped using Facebook. I've been stopped getting involved in that stuff that's out there in society. And I started putting my head in the books. See, I totally disassociated myself from society, which is one of the reasons why I still am this way that I am to this day. It's a lot of stuff I don't engage in. I don't involve myself with. Things that used to be elusive, entertaining, and that was nothing more than a grand distraction for me. And I had to sacrifice those things and just push those things to the side because it wasn't benefiting me as far as for my redemption was concerned. A lot of this stuff that I tell y'all about takes a lot of time, energy, and effort to get your documentation together. Simple as that. Prioritize your time is rule number 1. That's in less than 11 minutes. Rule number 2, organization. Once you start to study, you're going to start to organize things and put things into a perspective, put things together, so that way you're not all over the place. And I know it's very easy for people to get all over the place because they're distracted, but you have to remember the first primary thing is focus and discipline. Second is organization. Once you organize things, start getting your documentation together, start doing your affidavits, start putting your notices together, start assessing things, such as what are these so-called inputs that they're basically sending me, these late notices. All of these things you can't put off because time is of the essence. I don't care if they say your court date is within 3 months. You need to get on that shit today. So what if it's within 3 months? If you get on it today, you get it out the way today, guess what? You prepare 3 months in advance, which means you get it out the way, which means that now you're organized. You're not all over the place waiting until your court date, the week of your court date, to try to put it together. You slacking. Stop playing. You need to be organized. If somebody's saying that you go to court in June and it's January, get your shit together in January. Don't sit here and wait till, April, May, June. You know that this paperwork takes time. You know that this stuff takes time to get through the circuits and so forth. Don't put off your shit. Get on your shit now. See, a well-organized soldier will never lose the capacity to ever be overtaken in battle. So if you're organized and you have everything together, you got all your affidavits together, you done served all the parties, you done did all this shit before January ends, you are ahead before you even go to court in March. You ahead of the game. Now you can go sit back and prioritize and put some other stuff in order. You know what I'm saying? Now you can study. Now it's off the plate. Organization. Primary rule. That's in less than 13 minutes. You need to be organized. Most intrinsic rule. Rule number 3. Execution. Now, when you execute what you've learned, it's not so much of you going by what someone says and they're saying it happened to them. That might be the best way that they may explain it, that it happened to them. But that only becomes because it's something that they knew that they probably couldn't say online or wouldn't say online, that probably took place during the conference or whatever the transformation of dissemination information was within them and that third party. It's not going to happen that way with you. You have to realize within the factors of redemption and prioritizing your redemption, your story is your story. It could be 16,000 other people all focusing on the same subject, but 16,000 people are not walking one path. They're operating off of one truth, but the paths are all the different. There's 16,000 different paths. So remember, your story and execution is your testimony on how redemption works for you, which is what my channel is based on. I don't go by what other people say. Everything that I put on my channel, as far as my content is concerned, as far as my drive is concerned, in regards to how I apply this stuff, it's stuff that I do, have done, and still will do continuously. I don't sleep. Okay? I don't come up here on social media and try to play for the cameras and gain attention. Trust me, I am not that famous. They've been trying to shadow ban me for years. It is what it is. Because I just kick a hard truth. But the execution is what they don't want y'all to understand or interpret. They want you to believe that all of this stuff is gobbledygook. It's all a fraud. It doesn't work. It's not real. No. The reason why they want to convince you of that is because what you're doing is you're affecting, in some capacity, their way of trying to hold sway and trying to rob you financially because they want to keep you mentally illiterate. So, of course, they're going to convince the 85% of the masses of people who don't read, who don't study, who don't research, and they just develop their opinion off of 60-second TikToks. I'm just saying, ADHD is at an all-time high in society. Just saying. Look at most people in their own respective realm in their house. How many people actually go purchase books? How many people are purchasing books this Christmas? I don't even celebrate that shit, but I'm just making a statement. How many people are really purchasing books? Nope. The consumption market is open for what? Electronics, gadgets, widgets, and a whole bunch of other shit that ain't gonna benefit you in the next coming year. How many people buying printers? How many people buying laptops? How many people stocking up on ink? How many people actually going out there buying stamps, buying computer paper? How many people doing that? See, that's the real gift that keeps on giving. Not no funky ass PS5s. But I'm just saying, I'm not knocking nobody, but I'm just saying if you grown and you over the age of 30 or you over the age of 25 and you on this path and you on this channel, you need to start prioritizing your shit, man, and start executing it. And trust me, it's not going to be easy. You're not going to get you're going to send some documentation in and they're going to send you a clean cut response, which is why you have to do your due diligence when you execute. You have to start learning how to utilize registered mail, certified return receipt, because they're not going to operate on your wavelength because you ain't playing by their rules. So when you execute, when you start putting this stuff into practice, you're not going to go by the conventional path. So you can forget about that shit. You ain't going to get the phone calls back. You ain't going to get that. That's why when you execute, you got to document everything. Everything. I don't care what it is. If you got to call somebody and you got to have another device recording your phone conversation and whatever, if you're going through foreclosure or you're dealing with credit card companies, just like they record you, let them know you're recording them too. You got to be an executive in this stuff. You are the head of your office of sovereign, okay? Don't let nobody trick you out your office. And that's in less than 17 minutes. Execution is key. You can read all the books you want, but when you go up in front of that judge and you sitting up there stutter stepping, come on now, you ain't doing your due diligence. You're not prioritizing. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to go in there sharp as a whip. You're supposed to go in there sharp, because there's gonna be times when you ain't gonna have all the resources at your disposal. And please don't rely on the motherfucking technology, because you can't even use a phone in court nowadays. So you got to use the main CPU, your brain. You got to rely on this. Don't rely on that motherfucking goddamn phone. Oh, it's on my phone. What? No. Start putting stuff in hard copy. Hard copy. Hard copy. You got to have your stuff together. That's how you properly execute. And number 4, above all else. Above all else. Number 4, stay consistent. Stay consistent. Repeat steps 1 through 4. It's just 4 simple steps. Stay consistent. Just because you don't get the result that you desire in your heart, let me tell you something. The mind of a man and a woman, or mankind's period, is the biggest deceit ever, because anything in your head is not what you think it is. That's what you have to start understanding in life. Yes, we have powers to manifest, and that's a story for another discussion. But we have those capabilities to bring forth things that we need, that is necessary. But we often get spiritually lethargic sometimes. We let society and other things affect us. You see what I'm saying? And it's often ruled by the kingdom of emotion most of the time. And we, like right now, during this so-called holiday season, to me, it's just another motherfucking month. But no, everybody wants to, sensationalize this time of year. This time of year is fucking depressing. You see what I'm saying? This is the time when this is the time when people start to take breaks. They're going on recess, school closing, all this. Now you ain't got no excuse. Now you ain't got no excuse. You could do more in 2 weeks. Before this month ends, you could do more in 2 weeks than most people did in 6 fucking months. You think I'm lying? If you put that much energy and effort into it, you could do more in 2 weeks than most people did in 6 months. I've known people that I have dealt with over the years, real talk, have dealt with my channel for years, still ain't filed a UCC1 yet. Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna drop one more main, because I didn't want to put it first, but it's I just call it the 5 pillars of redemption. So I'm just gonna drop the 5th one. The main thing you must understand to this, you must invest. You must invest. You have to invest. Now, when you say invest, capitalists love that word, but we ain't capitalists over here. We sovereign. Let's call it what it is. Invest. Time, priority number 1. Energy, priority number 2. And your fiat. Yes, you are going to have to invest. Now, what do I mean? Do I mean go and investing in these people's classes and so forth? I'm not knocking nobody, nor am I saying any names. I'm speaking on Lord and Light Luciferian Prince 7.7. That's all I'm speaking on. Time. Okay? You can't get that back. You cannot get that back. That is your biggest and grandest commodity that you have. Time. You can't get that back. You're going to have to invest time. That is number 1. Now, a lot of people, like I said, they'll turn around and be like, oh, you talking about invest? Oh, that means you spend some money. You're going to have to do that too. Because it's not about spending money with anybody. It's about you dealing with yourself. You buying the Black's Law Dictionary. You buying Bouvier's Law Dictionary. You buying the bank. You got to invest in all this stuff. You have to invest. I know they call it freedom, but freedom comes with a price. Come here. Freedom comes with a price. I know it says free, but anything ain't free in the capitalist society. Come here. Straight up. You're going to have to invest. Y'all, and I know it's a lot of people who deal with these different alternative modes of life. Y'all going to have to start lining up with people who just like y'all. I know there's a lot of people I talked to over the years. There's like, your time. Invest. Invest your time with people who are like-minded. Don't try to talk to babies about calculus. That's all I got to say. And I say this in the most humble sense. Stop trying to talk to people who aren't on your level or going where you're going. Y'all talking to people who don't know anything about what y'all got going on in y'all personal life. And now they sit here mocking and deriding you because they like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about or she's talking about. Stop casting your pearls before swine. Invest your time with like-minded people. Join up in a Zoom meeting. And I know over the years I've dealt with people who they want to try to have some sort of grandiose role over people like, I know more than you. Or, listen, nobody knows every motherfucking thing, okay? Especially when it comes down to this subject, all right? Nobody knows everything. I don't. That's why I tell people, write it down, do your research yourself. See what I'm saying is true. Because I'm not going to get on here and say something that I know for a fact I didn't research or read or have done myself. Get with like-minded people. Invest your time. You see what I'm saying? Invest your time. If you're not dealing with nobody or you don't have no meeting or nothing scheduled, man, get your head in them books. Get your head in that paper. Get your head somewhere outside of the world. The world gonna go by the world script because the world is gullible and naive as fuck. But you have to start developing your world. Yeah, we know it's a lot of crazy stuff going on in society, but I'm not gonna live in anticipation of it. That's just throwing me off my motherfucking grind. I gotta keep my mind on my time. And when you prioritize your time, then what you do is you start to invest within the execution factor of it, and then you can start to progress and start to see that you planted the seed and now you got to tend to the plant. I don't like these people that come online and make y'all believe that you just gonna wave a goddamn form in somebody's face and all of a sudden you just exempt. This shit is a fucking battle. Okay? And of course, some of my language just lets you know that the harshness is just a passion within me to just let you know this is a battle. Okay? This is a battle. This is spiritual warfare. I don't know what y'all people, whatever. You know what I'm saying? This is a battle. Okay? And then you have to invest in materials. Yes, you're going to have to do a lot of stuff you don't like. You're going to have to go print. You're going to have to go do that. You're going to have to if you want it to be successful. But you got to invest in yourself. Because this is things that are coming to fruition to help you. Look at most of society. They spend most of their days in junk food retardation. Simple. They go to work. Now they come home. Now what? They cut the TV on or they cut on the phone or they ain't. Come on. Even if you work from 9 to 5. You mean to tell me you don't have at least an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours to read something? I'm just saying. You know, you could if you could read a book or two within a month and you could keep that up for a year, you'll be educated the majority of the population who's still using Google. And Google's AI generated now. It's not even Google anymore. It's totally based upon a mainframe of algorithms based upon artificial intelligence. That's not the correct answer, but that's just what they give you, the best they got. So people start investing in yourself, man. Hardcore truth. And that's in less than 26 minutes. I'm just dropping these gems on you because it's called prioritizing your redemption. You have to figure out where you want to go in life. You can't let life just happen to you. Or, we live in a society with this it is what it is mentality. That's the worst mentality you could ever have. That's not a productive mentality, nor is it a mentality that's based upon faith of self or faith within self's work. You know what I'm saying? So, no, you can't live whimsical. You have to prioritize all these things. These are 5 pillars of actually prioritizing your redemption. You probably won't hear it nowhere else. It is what it is. If you hear it here, great, fantastic. Hit that like button. Every time I drop some heat, make sure you hit that bell button so every time I drop a video, you won't be left outside the loop. But this is prioritizing your redemption, people. And I had to do this as a brief intermission because I know sometimes it gets overwhelming and a lot of people, they're all over the place. You know what I'm saying? They're all over the place. They're going over here. I want to be over here with this guy. I want to be over here with this group. I want to be over here with these people. You have to understand that a lot of these people have fragmented this in such categorizations that you have the Nuwabians, you have the Hebrew Israelites, you have the Christian American, so-called American patriots. You got so many splinter groups. Me, I'm not a part of no group, no organization whatsoever. I am part of OMO. That is my organization. You know what that means? It's called On My Own. I've been doing this on my own for a long time. People try to collab with me and so forth over the years. No, sir. I don't want that. I don't get involved with that because sovereignty is an original path. It is. Yes, you can. It's okay to deal with like-minded people, but I don't adopt any ideology as far as extremism or anything. I'm just a person who's living life in a commercial world who just wants to be left the absolute fuck alone. I'm not trying to start no resistance, no movement, no groups, no none of that. I'm just a person who just don't like to be fucked with by the commercial system. Because no matter what we want to believe, irrespective of our ideologies and our beliefs, we're all affected by the same system. The system that is designed to basically vampirically take away everything that you work for. And to let you live in a state of complacency where you believe that you actually own it. See what I'm saying? So we're dodging the illusion by prioritizing our redemption, by understanding that these are the key factors that we have to understand. And this is the truth, and this is the truth nonetheless. When you step outside of the sanctity of your own front door in the morning, you are now plugged into the commercial world. It's all business from that point forward. From running the stop sign, to buying the Snicker bar, to putting some gas in the car, to even getting to work and clocking in. It's all business from that point forward. Remember that. And that's in less than 29 minutes. Now, this is for the people who will prioritize. Not everybody's going to listen to it. Some people are just going to listen to this as entertainment, and that's fine. Maybe it's not your time yet. And I don't say this in a condescending way. I say this in a realistic sense. Maybe it's not your time yet. But for those who have been dragging ass, and only you know who you are, if you've been dragging ass, tomorrow ain't promised to nobody. Get on your shit today. Stop putting stuff to the side. Stop putting stuff to the side. I get to it tomorrow. I get to it next week. That's procrastination. Procrastination actually is a sign of a mental deficit. Slightly, but it is. Are we all guilty of it? To some instances, but you have to push yourself to actually understand procrastination ain't good in no form. Get on it, get it out the way, you feel a lot better. It's done. Get on your shit today, man. Prioritize your redemption. Because if it's not important to you, you better believe it's damn sure not important to them out there. They don't care. As long as they get the remedy from you falling into dishonor. Oh yeah, we sent them a notice 30 days ago. You know how fast 30 days go by? Pretty quick. Pretty quick. And you let 30 days just walk on by. So now these people coming at you talking about, okay, we gave you 30 days. You ain't respond, so what's up? Now we going to court. Now you're scrambling. See? Now you got to work double time. Don't do that. Prioritize your redemption. Make your life much more simple. If anybody needs help with anything within regards to consultations or anything within regards to excelling in your redemption, materials and so forth and so on, I deal with things on a private basis. You can email me. I leave both my email addresses in the comment section in the video description. Serious inquiries only. Serious inquiries only. I also have a Google number. I do check relatively routinely, but people don't use it. I don't know if it's because the exposure as far as videos are concerned, people aren't used to it, or B, maybe it comes in spurts, but I would try to leave it as frequently as I can in upcoming videos, so that way you'll be in the loop. And I also have a Google number that basically you can contact me. Sometimes I'll be available, sometimes I won't. My work days usually consist of between 10:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. And this is Eastern Standard Time. So if I don't catch you on Eastern Standard Time, or you're on Central or you're Pacific Standard Time, then hey, it is what it is. I'll make concessions for it, and we'll schedule it from that point forward. And it is what it is. I work with people, very flexible around schedules and so forth and so on. So with that being said, people, this video is titled Prioritizing Your Redemption. And once you prioritize your redemption, you understand what's the most important thing to you. If it's not important to you, then these 32 minutes don't mean shit. Okay? It just don't mean nothing. You just looked at 32 minutes of me running my mouth and moving my mouth, and you probably wasn't paying attention anyway. But if you were paying attention, please take those 5 pillars in this video and apply it to your life. Apply it to your life as soon as possible. People think it takes forever to get right, but that's a mental figment of your imagination. You can make it happen right now once you cut this video off. Get to it. Don't delay. It is what it is. But a tree is known by its fruits, period. It is what it is. In due season, it'll bear fruit. Other than that, if it ain't being intended to, it ain't going to bear no fruit. Don't get mad if you starve. That's all I can say. Peace, light, love. Y'all stay tuned. Asians, man, fuck you. 2025, I'm still going strong. Y'all take care. Stay tuned for the next video. See you soon.